G'day everyone and welcome to Self-Reliance Australia. So I thought I'd do a quick video this weekend, a bit of a weekend wrap up. Look, I haven't done one of those for quite some time. So I haven't done any major projects, basically I've just been doing little small things, like I've gone and picked up some wood and we'll go through that. But what I really wanted to do is say a big thank you to everyone who's been subscribing. It really does make a lot of difference. I have been checking out the stats lately and watch time has been going through the roof. And the number of people who have coming to the channel to view it as well has been increasing as well. So I just want to say thank you very much for that. It does help the channel to grow, and it sort of gives me encouragement to keep going too sometimes, because sometimes there's not a lot of two-way communication. There are a few of you that do comment. I do appreciate that immensely. It lets me know that people are actually watching this stuff, and also it makes a difference too for some people. So I do appreciate that feedback as well. So I think we've just bumped over 445, 446 subscribers or something like that. So just want to say a big thank you to everyone that has subscribed. And if you haven't, please do. It'd be greatly appreciated. But look, let's get into it and see what we've been doing over the weekend. So some of the work that I have to do around the place isn't super exciting, but we've had a lot of rain lately, and for some reason the gravel that was on the driveway seems to have been eaten by the earth. That's just turned into a big mud pit out the front of the garage. So there you go, having to dig a drain the waterway, because the longer the water sits there, the muddier it gets, and it just seems to pool longer and longer, and it seems to get worse and the hole gets bigger, which means more water pools there. So I did have to dig a drain. But interestingly enough, where I'm digging that drain through that you can see in the video there, that used to be gravel. So the grass is so aggressive on the property, it actually has grown across where the gravel used to be as well. But look, by taking the water away, it just allows it to dry up quicker, which means that there's less of a problem moving forward. Now, another job I did on the weekend was going collecting firewood. Now, originally I wanted to get 3 cubic meters, but unfortunately the firewood guy only had 2. So I ended up coming home with 2. So I wasn't able to fill all of the containers that I've got there, the cages, because the intent was to have 3 cubic meters full, and then I can put my split wood into the 4th box. But what it did mean that I had the trailer out and about, and some of the roads around our area I just unsealed. So there's mud all over the trailer, and I didn't want to put it away dirty. That's one of the OCD things I have. I like to keep my gear good, because I believe that the more you look after the gear, the better your gear will help you and serve you and last a lot longer. So I gave it a wash, got the brush out, gave it a rub down, because the high pressure hose wasn't actually getting the mud off as that caked on. So I've got a couple of star pickets to put in. Actually, these probably aren't star pickets, more of like a T section, which is probably just a cheaper version of the old star pickets. I've got to make a shelter for I've got a sick sheep that needs some cover out of the wind and the rain that's coming through. So what I'm going to do is put it up in against the shipping container, so it'll be down behind the garden here, so being a raised garden bed, because the wind, you'll notice, will actually be coming up the gully from that way. So I'm hoping that the garden here will provide a bit of protection, and definitely the shipping container provide protection from the westerlies coming through. So this should be a nice little secluded little spot that we can put together for her. But to get these in a little bit easy, because these aren't particularly easy to put in by hand, I have this old piece of Gelf pipe. That's just a piece of old galvanized pipe. It's got a screw thread that you can see on it, and it's had a joiner with a little end stop put in it. Now, this is something that, like for those that just recently watched the video and the stuff that I inherited from my dad's tool chest, this is something that's sitting underneath his house, and I had seen him use it before. And so when we were out there packing up all of his gear, I thought, you know what, I'm definitely going to be able to use that. Now, most people probably look at that and go, gee, that's an old piece of pipe. As I turn around, Bibbles the sheep is trying to eat the garden. Well done, Bibbles. I guess onions will put a bit of flavour in your dinner. But you can leave the onions there, that'd be nice. But yeah, so most people would probably see just an old piece of pipe, but it actually comes in very handy for the job that it does. Yeah, she got some. Cheeky little sheep. So basically you just drop the pipe over the top, like so. I'll see if I can draw it back. Like so, and just drop it down. And then we just go. And that is star pick it in. And look, that was so much easier than trying to get a sledgehammer onto it or any sort of hammer, so this works really good. Look, the rain is starting to come in. I think it's already here. But anyway, I'll get the other one in and then I'll get some string up, some cordage, put it through so I can put a bit of a tarp over the top for her. So there's star pick it in. I'll just use the lump of old galvanised pipe over there. You can see I've got tied in with string on the side, so it's just a bit of a cover, so if the sheep wants to come in during the night, you've got the shipping container and the garden bed to stop the wind. She's been sniffing around, so I reckon she might go in there a bit later on, see how she's going. With all the others tend to hang out under the trees. Can't see them over there at the moment, but that's where they normally go, especially when it's raining. They've got good cover there. Not very much comes through there in the way of the rain for them, and it also protects them a little bit from the wind as well. So there you go. So there you go, a few more jobs done for the weekend. But there's always work to be done on a property like this, whether it's, actually, I'll be honest, I don't do too much repairing of fences. I do a little bit every now and again. I'd have put done a video on that, but look, normally the fences are pretty good. I've got sheep, so they're not too brutal, thankfully, on the fences. But there's always things to do. At the moment, there's a lot of water lying around, so making sure that water isn't sitting in the wrong places becomes important. So the driveway's getting rather boggy in certain spots, so I'm gonna have to try and get that fixed somehow, whether it's cleaned out with a blade, get a bobcat in or something. The little dam is drying up, and that's because all those reeds, I think, have broken the clay base and it just sort of soaks out now. But look, that's a job that isn't really high on my priority list, because I don't have fish in there and I don't actually use that water for anything at this point in time. But it's definitely on the list of jobs to do. But look, just some of the simple things like going to pick up firewood, like there's the best part of a day gone. It's definitely over 2-hour drive down to get it. Doesn't take very long to load it, then a couple of hours coming back, so those things just take time. But look, it's good to get it done, and look, I can't say I've had a busy weekend. It was a case of just get a few things done and try and stay reasonably relaxed in the process. So anyway, if you've enjoyed that, bit of an insight into what goes on a general weekend, please give us the big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, that'd be greatly appreciated, and I'll see you next time.